I want to thank you all for coming tonight. The weather's pretty bad, but I thank you for being here. I always like to start off my presentations by saying I am not the world's foremost authority on anything. Many people have been very generous to me and accolades, but in point of fact, I'm not an authority on anything. I am simply an ordinary man pursuing extraordinary knowledge. I was given a mind and a brain by the God that created me, and consequently I chose a long time ago to use it. As far as I'm concerned, there's a whole world of knowledge which is hidden from most people because most people can't handle the truth. If you are sound asleep and you are very comfortable and you're very tired, you're sound asleep, total darkness, someone slips into your bedroom and turns on a 600-watt bulb next to you, your first and normal reaction is going to be to turn away. Why? Because the light hurts your eyes, and you're not ready for that much light. So actually you turn away. Why? The same is true symbolically when someone who is intellectually and spiritually enlightened, we call that person brilliant. This guy is brilliant. That person is brilliant, meaning they're filled with light, intellectual, spiritual enlightenment. But most people who live in the dark, they can't handle it. I don't want to hear this stuff. This is what we call cognizant dissonance, meaning I've never heard this before. This is bull. I don't want to hear it. It hurts my eyes. Why? Because you can't handle the truth. You can't handle spiritual light. So therefore, you turn away. Well, when someone who is spiritually enlightened is trying to teach you something and enlighten you, what are you doing? You are listening to that person. But as you're listening to him, what are you doing? You are judging in your brain, in your mind, if this guy is for real, or is he just a good showman, or is he full of bull, or is it true? And so you are judging. This is why the scripture says Jesus was held to be judged in the temple. That's right, the temple, the side of your head. And when you decide that you've heard enough of this and you don't want to hear any more of this light, you want to go back to sleep, you don't want to hear this light, what have you done? You have now put God's Son to death, the Son of enlightenment, the intellectual, spiritual light from the universe you have now put to death in your head. Why? Because that's where God's Son dies, Golgotha, skull place, in your head. Skull place, that's where he's put to death. The bottom line is that the entire New Testament is a metaphor for the war between light and darkness. And most people can't handle the light. They can't handle the truth. It's too bright, and I don't want to hear this. Well, one day there will come a time when the real truth is going to come out, and you're going to find out that that presence of God bears no resemblance to what you thought it was going to be. God is bigger than any one religion. That divine presence in the universe is getting ready to make its move on the earth. We are merely the offspring of a race of people that have been here for hundreds of thousands of years, and that divine presence in the universe we call God, I believe, is getting ready to do something momentous. It's frightening in its implications. So you need to get prepared, because you're going to find out the truth is not what you thought it was. It's bigger than that.
What's the truth?
We are in a spiritual war, and we have no idea in the world what's going on. Your decisions in life are only as good as your information. If your information is faulty, you're going to lose. And that's why I believe all over this country, Christians and Jews are losing. Christians are losing. Oh, I'm not talking about the channel, the 700 Club and all the multi-millionaires who couldn't believe, they don't believe in any of this. They're just a show. It's just, you can tell this is all a show. They're out there with their little effeminate hairdos and their diamond rings, and they're singing and praising the Lord, while the masters of our world are ripping the human race apart. They're planning something big. And we got these fascist Nazis who call themselves Christians looking the other way while people dying all around the world, why they feed their belly and have their girlfriends in the motels, and they're not telling the people the real truth. Somewhere along the line, what goes around comes around. And there's going to come a time when this country is going to wake up and find out we've been had. And don't, like the scripture says in Isaiah, and I love that scripture, it says, when what you dread, God says to Israel in Isaiah, when what you dread comes upon you as a pangs of distress upon a pregnant woman, do not call out to me, for I will not allow myself to be found, because you have preached for your doctrines the commandments of men. I love that. When what you dread, and you know it's coming, we know we're moving, this whole country, this whole world is moving into some dark times. We know it's coming. And the scripture says in Isaiah, when it finally gets here, and you know it's coming, and when it gets here, don't call out to me, because I will not be found. Why? You haven't wanted the truth. You wanted your own religion. You wanted your own religious beliefs. Well, now you got your religious beliefs. See what it's going to do, what the Nazis have taken over your country. And this is why Jews were marching to concentration camps in Adolf Hitler's Germany. Where was God? The scripture says, don't call out to me. You never have loved the truth. You've always been looking to take care of yourself. You don't care about truth. So don't call me when they come for you. And when Christians are being persecuted, the same scripture applies. Don't come to me. Don't call out to me. You got the truth and you love the Lord. You don't love truth. No way. Hey, what goes around comes around. You turned your back on truth a long time ago.